all your colleagues, have you guys now gotten the scholarship?
Yes.
Everybody.
We are all in the UK.
Wow, congratulations.
Yes.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So many people have requested this video for me to talk about how to get funding for your PhD research, and today I have with me a very good friend who is fully funded for her PhD research at the Queen Mary University of London to talk to us about her journey, how she got this full funding for her research, and how you watching me right now can also do that. Let's meet Adesola.
Hi, my name is Adesola. I'm from Nigeria. I have a bachelor's degree in accounting from Adesola University in Ado-Ekiti. I also studied for my master's in accounting also at Adesola University, and I'm currently at the Queen Mary University of London studying for my PhD. I'm also on a fully funded scholarship here. So.
Yeah, welcome Adesola, and thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I know what it means to take you out of your busy schedule just to come and do this for us. We appreciate you. I know they appreciate. So if you appreciate Adesola for doing this, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want me to keep bringing people like this to give you valuable content. Adesola was actually the valedictorian during undergraduate. Was the best graduating student during undergraduate days at Adesola University. So you are in for a big deal. So sit tight, and we're going to give you a breakdown about how she started her journey to getting a fully funded scholarship for her research project here at the Queen Mary University, and how you can do that as well. So let's get started. Okay, so Adesola, tell us about your research project currently at the Queen Mary University of London.
Okay, I'm currently working on gender inequality in Nigerian accounting firms, both international accounting firms and indigenous accounting firms in Nigeria. Initially, when I started out, I wanted to look at maternal body discomfort. That means the discomfort to the feminine reproductive biology in accounting firms. But then, since I started 3 to 4 months ago, things are, taking a new shape now. So I'm not only looking at the maternal body discomfort in the place of work, accounting firms specifically. I would love to look at, other issues, other forms of gender inequality in accounting firms.
It's so interesting to know that one could actually take on such a journey. How long is your program for? 3 or 4 years?
3 years, just in case you feel you can't finish in 3 years.
Yeah.
You have an extra year for finishing up your work.
But Adesola has said that she wants to finish in 3 years. She's so passionate about the fact. Like, your course is actually so interesting because normally I would think that you come do your PhD in maybe law, tech, all these things, but to go out of your way to do this research, 3 years or 4 years research on gender inequalities in the accounting sector in Nigeria especially, is something worth looking out for. Well done, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And you're going to tell us how you secured a fully funded scholarship for a whooping 3 years program at Queen Mary. Like, how much is that? Because I know that my 1 year program is £23,000. How much is it?
Okay, that's 18,000 per year. So for 3 years, 18 times
£18,000 in 3 places. So you calculate that for yourself. That's for the school fees.
Yeah, that's
and then you get monthly stipend.
Oh yes, I do. Yes.
She does not have any issues. So you definitely need to sit tight. Let her just us how she secured this funding.
Yeah, okay, so the scholarship journey started in 2018. I was encouraged by a friend of mine to attend a program in Lagos. The program is called the Young Talents Program. It was held at Lagos Business School. At the program, a guy actually spoke to us, one of the organizers of the program. His name is Dr. Tayo. He's actually a professor now, Professor Tayo Otubanjo. So as he told us that they're actually looking for people who would be interested in studying abroad for their PhD, and that they would like to recruit some people, basically train them for 2 years on how to, get scholarship and, how to get admissions in schools abroad, either in the US or in the UK or in any European country. So I decided to apply because I really wanted to do a PhD, and I also wanted to be well-grounded in research. So after the Young Talents program at Lagos Business School, I decided to apply for the research assistantship position at Lagos Business School. So I did that, and when I did that, I signed a contract that the 2 years I would be spending there, I would, do some work. I would do some research work for the person I was assigned to work with, and at the same time too, I would also develop myself and make sure that I get a scholarship within 2 years. Wow. So you sign a 2 years contract.
So hold on, what happens if you don't get a scholarship within 2 years?
Okay, what happens if you don't get a scholarship within 2 years is your contract ends, and then you sort of have to go.
But there's no penalty.
There's no penalty really, but it's just that you have, especially maybe if you had to leave your job to come into the Management Scholars Academy. So if you actually leave your job, because it's like putting all of your eggs in one basket. So if you actually leave your job and decide that you want to do that particular work for 2 years, just for you to learn how to get a scholarship, and you don't get a scholarship at the end of the day.
It's like a waste of effort.
It's like a waste of effort.
So let me understand. So the Management Scholars Academy at the Lagos Business School hires you, you leave your job, hires you to come and research for professors at the Lagos Business School. And in the course of your research, you are also taught how to apply for funding and grants to make sure that within 2 years of that program, you get the scholarship. And she sure did. That is why she is here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So how did you make the application to Queen Mary? How did you settle for your course? How did you get your project supervisor, and how did you get the funding?
Okay, the first thing I did when I was applying to Queen Mary was I cold emailed supervisors generally. I checked the school's website to look for supervisors within my field. I think 6 months before then, I had written a proposal which had been vetted by my supervisors at work already.
Who are already professors.
Who are already professors and who actually studied in the UK. So they actually had to vet my proposal before I started sending the proposal out. So I cold emailed supervisors, and then one person responded to me. She said, "I like your work. I would love to be your supervisor, but first you have to answer some questions." So she asked me about 11 questions. She wanted to know if I was passionate about the area I wanted to research on. So she asked me so many questions. I remember before answering that email, I had to take a day off because that was like a chance to actually prove myself. I had to respond to her email meticulously. I was really careful because I did not want to miss anything. Meanwhile, before this period, I had actually been rejected. I had applied to 11 schools before and I had been rejected. So I was really careful. I was scared. I did not want to miss the opportunity. So I was really meticulous. I was really careful, and I responded to her message, and she said, "Okay, all right." She wanted to see my master's thesis to know whether I could write like a huge monograph, and I showed her my master's thesis. So she said, "Okay, why don't you apply?" She asked me to apply 2 days before the deadline.
Wow.
So meanwhile, while I was talking to her, I was already filling the application form. I had not just submitted. So when she said, "Oh, you can apply," I had all of my documents ready. So I just submitted immediately. And I made sure I had all of my documents. I made sure I had all of the reference letters, because reference letters are also very important.
How many reference letters?
I submitted 2 reference letters.
Were they solely academic or both academic and work?
They were solely academic.
Solely academic reference
solely academic reference
and
letters.
And they were from your professors at Lagos Business School?
Yeah, they were from my professors at Lagos Business School. Yes. Both of them.
So you said that you applied to 11 schools and you got rejected.
Yeah.
Was it the school that rejected you, or you did not just secure a supervisor?
Oh, I secured supervisors in these schools, in all of these schools. Okay. I got the admission, but I did not get a scholarship.
Funding.
I did not.
So you were not rejected for the PhD program.
No,
you didn't just secure
I just
funding.
Secure funding.
So you were actually looking for funding.
Yeah, I was actually looking for funding.
So in essence, it is easy to get into, to be admitted for PhD program.
Yes,
but the funding is the
funding is the
which is why we are here.
Yes. The funding is the main problem. The recommendation letter I got, I think I really need to talk about the recommendation letter.
Okay.
It was really strong. The recommendation letter was really strong, especially from one of my professors at Lagos Business School, Professor Tayo. His recommendation letter was like 3 pages long.
Wait, did you give him a draft or he just
No,
did it by
I did
himself?
not give him a draft. He just did it by himself.
He knows what they want.
He knows what they want, do you get? And he knows that they're actually going to read the letter. So he made sure that the recommendation letter was really strong.
Which is why I always advise that you get your recommendation letters from people who you have worked with, who knows you and who can vouch for you.
Exactly.
Not people that will not take your life seriously. And recommendation letters are very important. Okay, now that's how you got your supervisor. So how did you get the funding?
Oh, okay. So after exchanging emails with the supervisors, she said, okay, why don't we have like a video call? So we had a video call. I remember the day we were Skyping. I remember that day because I was really tired about the whole rejection. And I just felt like after this video call now, how am I sure that this woman is going to secure funding for me, or how am I sure that after all of this stress that I want to go through now, how am I sure that I would actually get
the funding?
So I spoke with her and she was quite nice. And then she asked me a question at the end. She said, if you do not get the funding, will you be able to come to Queen Mary? And I told her no. Without the funding, I can't come to Queen Mary. And then she said, okay. So after that interview I had with her in February, it was also like another long wait. Another long wait again. I was beginning to have heart palpitations because after that February, I had spent 1 year already at Lagos Business School, which means I had
so
just 1 year
that was
left.
February 2019.
That was February, no, 2020.
Okay.
Yes, 2020, yes. So, which means I had, 1 year left, and the clock was ticking. So, I think I just really need to say this because you have just 2 years. There's pressure on you to actually apply at all times, to actually achieve. And then your professors at Lagos Business School will always ask you and will always motivate you to apply for funding and all of that. The person I worked with, my supervisor, he gave me 1 month break to actually write my proposal. He actually did that 1 month break.
How long is this proposal? Like how many pages or how many word count?
It's 12 pages.
Okay.
And the main content is just like 4 pages long. Okay. 1 page is just cover page. I have like 3 pages for referencing. Okay. And then I have my PhD timeline. I prepared it in form of like a Gantt chart, a table.
Like a roadmap of how you
Like a roadmap of how I intend, like the first year, what I intend to do, the second year, what I intend to do, and all of that. All of these things just, took up the pages. And
so what is the most important content of the research proposal?
Okay, the most important content of the proposal is the literature review. Your ability to review all of the studies which have been conducted in the past
in that field
or in that particular topic, and then finding a gap, no matter how little, just finding a gap, something that somebody has not done before, or maybe people have done it. You actually have to find like a gap. You have to be introducing something and contributing something to knowledge. Actually, at the proposal stage, it's not usually defined. It's not usually cast in stone, because as you progress into your PhD, you find out that there are actually more things that you did not discover during your proposal writing, and then you'd have to incorporate those things into your work later on. But the main thing is the literature review. The way you write the literature review, it sort of shows your writing skills. The way you construct your literature review, the way you bring out issues from them, especially maybe if people have not written in that form before, the way you write it. And then I think the introduction also
matters. So what was the gap that your proposal sought to fill?
This was the gap. I discovered there was this call for further studies which a woman made. She made a call for further studies in 1998 that this particular part of accounting has been done in the Western context. It has focused on white women, on educated women and privileged women. Meanwhile, we have very few studies on women in non-Western context. what she was trying to explain was that the experiences of women in the West is actually different from the experiences of women in non-Western countries like Nigeria. For instance, like in accounting, in the Western context, women experienced professional closure and they had to fight their way. They had to fight to, be included in the accounting profession.
What is professional closure?
Oh, professional closure it's like a means of excluding people from a profession.
So are you saying that in the Western world, women were excluded from the accounting profession?
Yes, they were. Expressly. And because in the constitution of the accountancy bodies they could only admit men. Because it was expressly written in it that him and he means men. So you can actually bring in a man but not a woman. So when women applied to belong to these bodies, they were told that on constitutional grounds we can't admit you. We would love to admit you, but our constitution states that he and you are a she. So this was the case in Australia, Canada, the United States, but for Nigeria we did not experience professional closure. Women were not expressly excluded from the profession. Women could actually join the profession like ever since we got independence, especially when the ICANN Act, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, when it was introduced in Nigeria, women could actually join the profession. There was no gender discrimination, there was no gender disparity. Meanwhile, the issue in Nigeria is just, the issue of late access to education for women. That was just, the issue which actually delayed the entry of women by 13 years or so. So the experiences are different. Our cultures are different. So that was the gap.
But our experiences were not documented.
No, our experiences were not documented except for a particular lady. Her name is Bridget. She actually documented the experience in her PhD thesis, but she focused on the early entrance into the profession. So the part I want to focus on women generally, not just the early entrants. Women generally, women who work in accounting and audit firms. And also in the study she conducted, she looked at women between, I think, the ages of 40 to 80 years old. Meanwhile, we have female accountants who are
from 25,
in fact 22,
from 20.
You graduated at 20. So from like 20, 22 and above. We actually have generational differences. The experiences of these women who are actually 40 to 80 years old is totally different. They're in a totally different,
like the boomers
generation. Like the baby boomers generation and so on. It's totally different from our experiences.
That we're generation Y and Z.
Exactly. So that was the gap I was able to identify, the contextual gap. And I was able to justify that gap from the call that had been made in 1998. Somebody already observed that people should work on this area.
Well, it wasn't done.
So I guess
you are here to answer the call.
I'm here to answer the call,
So was it your thesis supervisor that secured you the funding?
I won't say she was the one that secured the funding for me because I just applied.
So after you applied for the PhD to be admitted as a research student, did you have to apply separately for funding? It
was the same application form. As a scholarship applicant, you have so many competitors from all over the world. An independent panel would sit. I believe they check all of your papers and then they pick the best ones.
So you made an application to be admitted as a PhD student in QMUL University. In that application, there was a space for you to apply for funding. If you are interested.
If you are interested, yes.
In those other 11 schools, did you have to do separate applications or it was still the same application where you now apply for funding?
They were the same application. Usually, this was how I actually found out about those schools. There's this website, jobs.ac.uk. You go there and then you see calls for students, like scholarship opportunities for PhDs and then for masters. You can actually streamline it to find PhDs for masters. Then there's this other website, Find a PhD.
I know that one. Find a PhD. We're going to put all those websites in the description box to this video so that you can go to this website and find funding for yourself.
Yes. Every morning when we get to work, that was like our newspaper. My friends and I, because in my set we were 5 people in my set.
Okay.
So we were working together, and every morning we would, always update ourselves. Oh, have you seen jobs today? I think there's something there that you might like
in your field.
Exactly, in your field, because we're all from different fields. So you would apply for the scholarship through those websites. It's like a single application. You don't
for
have
the admission and the
for
funding.
the admission and the funding. You just have to specify.
See, it's very easy. Just one application
you just have
for 2 things.
Exactly. You just have to specify that, okay, this is the scholarship that you're applying for. Because I think there will be like a drop down, because there will be like several other scholarships too.
Okay.
So there will be like a drop down, then you just select it.
Okay.
So then
you're
exactly. So you'd be considered for what you've applied for.
Wow, thank you so much. So much information to digest. I know that if we want to talk for the next 3 hours, we will not exhaust it. Do you think that your area of research contributed to your funding?
Well, initially, I thought I was getting rejected because of my area of research. I don't think it's because of my area of research. I think it just had to do with my qualifications, with the writing structure, quality of the proposal I actually submitted. Because I feel some of the things they would actually look out for are, okay, how did you structure your proposal? What sort of referencing style did you use? Test
it's like we will bring Adesola back to come and teach this one. Let me know in the comment section if you want us to come back, and so that Adesola can talk about the referencing style, the structure of a PhD proposal for funding, because we can't cover all of this in this video. If not, it's going to be like an hour 30 minutes.
Okay, so I believe they test for plagiarism.
Of course they do.
My colleagues and I were making sure that our work wasn't plagiarized. We made sure that everything cited in the work was also referenced, and we just packaged ourselves. Oh, the CV also. Oh, the CV. Your CV is also very important for the PhD application. So I think these were the things that really helped, although it was very competitive. I'm saying that I actually applied to, I got rejected by 11 to 12 schools. I have a friend that was rejected by almost 40 schools. Wow. So that was just my own case. So it's something you have to keep doing, because it's very competitive. Yeah. Sometimes your proposal may be good, your CV may be good, you may get all of your documents right, but you won't still get funding because it's very competitive. It's very competitive.
Imagine that money is a lot of money.
It's a lot.
Like over 40,000 pounds to sponsor you. So you have to prove yourself.
You have to actually prove yourself. Okay, I think also another thing, the personal statement. I think I forgot to mention this.
Okay.
The personal statement too is also important.
You guys already know I've made a video of personal statement. It's a long time video, so just go and watch it if you're yet to do that.
I think the personal statement is just like, the letter that you're using to express yourself,
your intentions,
that your intentions, what you want to do, and it sort of expresses your passion for the research. Yes, because one of the key features of a PhD student is resilience and the ability to self-motivate, to motivate yourself, because it's a lonely journey. So I think they want to see that. They want to see that when you start, you have the ability to finish. So these are the things you have to put in your personal statement. They also want to know about your experience, your research experience.
So far, right?
So far. Like, do you have lecturing experience? Do you have research experience? Then they also want to know if you can make use of relevant software. Let's say, for instance, in social sciences, we make use of SPSS, we make use of in vivo, and so on and so forth. If you don't know how to make use of this software
in your field, please.
In your field especially, I think you should learn them. Yeah. Because for supervisors during the interview, they may ask you that, do you know how to make use of this? And then if you lie and say yes, you can, you'll be surprised that one day, maybe during the course of your PhD, your supervisor may just call upon you and tell you that, oh, Kuseme, you remember during our interview, you told us you could make use of SPSS. Yeah. Take this data, go and analyze it for me, and then you'll be stuck. So it's best to be honest.
Yeah. And in the process, while waiting for your admission, while waiting for your funding,
you can learn.
learn all the skills in your field, the softwares
Exactly.
you're supposed to use and what you're supposed to know. Better still, just go to Google and search for requirements for PhD admissions, and then you will see it in your field.
And then the school will train you, even if you don't know it. But the
Okay.
school will actually
Which
train
is
you.
why you should be honest about it.
Which is why you should be honest, because then your supervisor will be able to recommend you for trainings. That, oh, okay, you don't know how to make use of SPSS. There's this training. Why don't you go? Why don't you take
And
this
these
class?
trainings are free. You don't have
They
to
are
pay
actually
for them.
free. You don't have
Everything
to pay
is
for them.
covered.
Everything is covered.
I know that there are some PhD students in Queen Mary who are not funded by Queen Mary, but your scholarship funding is from Queen Mary.
It's from Queen Mary.
Just give us like a brief insight on what it has been so far for you since beginning your research program.
Okay, it has been good so far. It has been really good. I've actually learned a lot of things, like in 4 months, because I started in October. In this very short period, there are so many seminars, so many PhD workshops to actually benefit from. You know, right from your first year, they start asking you questions about what would you like to do after your PhD. They start training you for the job markets because they want you to also be employable after your PhD. So at Queen Mary here, you're being groomed from the first year. You start attending seminars on careers already. They are not coursework so far. Like, you start your research immediately.
Okay.
But then you attend workshops that would actually enlighten you and would actually enrich you. Like how to write your first academic paper, how to make sure that your research is contributing to knowledge or it has an impact, or how to make sure that you network when you attend conferences. So these are the things they actually teach you. And then there are times when I've gotten stuck, and whenever you feel stuck, there are actually seminars you can attend that would make you feel unstuck. Like, for instance, I remember when I started writing in November, I did not know how to structure my work well. Even now, I still don't have the perfect structure. But then there was this seminar I attended. The seminar was creativity and mind mapping.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So you are taught how to be creative, how to mind map, how to structure your work, so that you won't experience roadblocks and
So they simplify these things for you.
So
it's not like you're not on the journey alone.
You are not on the journey alone. Then also there's this other important thing about Queen Mary. You know, Queen Mary is a part of the University of London.
Yes.
If you decide that, okay, there's something I do not understand, they have like a partnership with King's College London, Imperial College, UCL, and all that. So you can actually go there to take lectures.
Okay.
Let's say that particular SPSS that you don't understand, or maybe in vivo or something. If Queen Mary isn't taking the course at that particular moment, and Imperial College is taking the course, you can actually go.
And that's like the benefit of being in a University of London group of schools, right?
Exactly. That's actually the benefit.
And if I understand you, there are no lectures. You don't go to classes.
You don't go to classes.
You don't go for lectures.
But you must attend your seminars.
You attend your seminars to sharpen your skills, and then you discuss the progress of your research with your project supervisor
once a month. And the supervisors are really helpful here. They read your work and they get back to you as soon as possible. In fact, like I think the longest you'd wait is 1 week to get feedback from your supervisors. They read everything, they go through everything, they make comments, then they encourage you, they tell you how to make your work better. They give you suggestions, they tell you, oh, why don't you include this, why don't you make your work better, and all of that. Then whenever they are speaking to you, you know that they're actually talking from a place of knowledge. Because whenever you submit something to them, they go on to research further. For instance, I'm talking to my supervisors about Nigeria. And my supervisors are really interested. They want to know, oh, so is this how it is in Nigeria? Oh, that is really nice, that is really lovely. And then they go ahead, research more about Nigeria, and then they ask me questions. Oh, how about this? Does this happen in Nigeria? Can you give us your views about this? So they're actually interested. They're talking to you from a place of knowledge, and they're willing to know more about what you're actually working on. And based on what they've read, they will also give you suggestions on how to make your work better. I think so far it has been lovely.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. Okay, I know that you first started your PhD in Nigeria.
Oh yes.
Can you give us like a brief difference how it differs doing a PhD in Nigeria and doing it in UK?
Okay. In Nigeria, I had to do coursework for the first year.
So you had to attend classes?
I had to attend classes. I had to sit for exams.
What?
Yes, I had to sit for exams. First semester, second semester, I think I did like 6 courses.
You didn't focus
semester.
on your research yet?
No. Even then, I did not even really know what I would be researching on. I think the first year is for you to sort of like think about your research, think about what you'd like to research on. And that is why we're doing coursework on taxation, financial management, and the likes. So you can actually now pick that, okay, I think I like financial management. Let me work, let me research on something around financial management and the likes. So that was what we did.
But over here, you go straight to your research.
Especially at Queen Mary. I can't really say about other schools
okay,
because I think there are actually different patterns. Because my friend at Lancaster is actually doing coursework.
Okay.
I think his first year is for coursework, which is like.
Is he funded?
Yes, he's also funded.
So how did he get the funding? If but he already knows what he wants to research.
Yes, he knows what he wants to research on.
Okay.
Yes, but then you have to do coursework at Lancaster.
Okay. But at Queen Mary, you just go straight to your.
At Queen Mary, you go straight into your research.
Like the senior person that you are.
You go straight into your research, but then after 9 months, you have to do a progression report to tell them what you've done so far.
How far you've gone.
Exactly. How far you've gone, and that would determine whether you'd go into your second year or not. So in Nigeria, it was totally different. I did not meet my supervisor at all. Because after your coursework, you'd then be assigned a supervisor. You'd be asked to submit an area of interest where you'd like to research on. So then I said I was interested in management accounting, and so I was assigned a supervisor, which I never met.
Wow.
But then, studying abroad was just calling out my name. And I just felt like
you needed to be in
the abroad. I needed to be in the abroad. Okay. So I actually followed that.
Thank you so much. And then, do we have like a fixed year in Nigeria for PhD?
Well, the minimum is 3 years, but no, you do not have a fixed year because ASU strike.
ASU strike affects PhD students too.
Yeah, it does.
For real? So it's affecting people that are doing research.
It's affecting people doing their research. Okay, you can actually go on with your research, but your supervisor won't read your work. Okay. He won't. And even if you want to defend, even when you finished and you actually want to defend, no one will listen to you. You can't graduate because school is on strike.
Oh my God. Okay, so now your research in Queen Mary, how many words is it going to be for?
80,000 to 100,000 words.
Between 80,000 to 100,000 words for the 3 years or 4 years that you want to do the project. Before we go, just give us like maybe the most important tips for anybody that is looking forward to being in your state right now, coming or getting a PhD funding for any school in the UK. What are those things that you think are most important? I know you've mentioned so many tips, but just highlight them so that if they did not hear before, they can hear now.
Okay. First, you need to make sure your documents are ready. Everything.
You said CV,
your CV,
personal statements,
2
academic reference letters,
some schools,
very strong ones.
Yeah, some schools request for 3.
3, right?
So make sure you have 3. I had 3.
Okay.
So I could actually just take from the pool of my reference letters to submit.
Do they need your transcripts, your undergraduate and
postgraduate and transcript and your master's transcripts? Yes.
Do they need your master's thesis, your master's research?
For some schools, yes. Your master's research. IELT, yes, it's very important.
Did you write IELTS?
Yeah, I did.
You did IELTS?
Yes, yeah.
So it can be waived?
For a PhD, no, because you are writing.
So you must know how to write.
You can write. There are some schools that they look at your writing section.
What was your IELTS score?
Like 7.0.
You can't. I shall know that Queen Mary, you can't have anything. Okay, in law it has to be between 7 and 7.5. So it depends. It varies for different universities. Wow.
So you must. I think you shouldn't also wait till last minute before you start getting things ready. For instance, let's say IELTS, if you can,
write it now
and then just keep the results somewhere. Your transcripts, get them,
have
them scanned, put them on your computer. Your personal statements, write it. Make sure that you give like a proofreader. We have professional proofreaders who read for people and correct. So you can actually reach out to people like that and they would help you. Then the proposal is actually also very important. This is something you actually have to work on. That's like, it's like your main passport to securing PhD admission, to securing even a supervisor. Because sometimes you may want to talk to a supervisor, but when you don't even have a proposal to show, you won't even be confident. I remember the first time I started searching for scholarships, I saw the names of many professors I would like to contact, but I did not have a proposal in hand. And I felt like it would be so unserious of me to contact someone email without having anything to actually show, without showing my writing skills. So the first thing I did was to write a 2-page proposal first, and then I contacted a supervisor with it, and then the supervisor told me, okay, I like what you've written, how about you develop it? So she told me what to write. She sent me articles, things to read. I did that, and then I developed it within a month. I did that, and then I reached out to her again, and she told me, she said, I did not know you were going to respond again. She's, you know, there are some people after the first email or the second email, they stop communicating, they back out. So she told me, she said she did not think I was going to respond.
Is that your current?
No.
You didn't get funding for that one.
I didn't get funding for that one. Yes, that was actually my first admission. So she was really impressed, but the fact that I was able to develop it, she taught me what to do.
And these things will help you in subsequent applications.
That was what helped me in subsequent applications. So having these things ready, having your documents ready is very important. Then another thing is being resilient. Being able to motivate yourself, not giving up. That is also really important, because
you might not get it at the first application.
You may not get it at the first application.
You just need to keep trying. You fail, you try again.
But you know, there are some people. There were some people that applied once
and they got
it once. Especially maybe if you want to apply to American schools. If you have GMAT, GRE, you have all of your documents, and you know, like once you have very good GRE scores, very good IELTS scores or TOEFL scores, and you have very strong transcripts and strong recommendation letters, and you can pay application fees for US schools.
So you have to. Did you pay application fees
for
UK schools?
It's free.
US schools like to get application fees.
Which is totally
and I think
expensive.
Another thing that maybe makes it very competitive is Nigerians just like to study in UK. So and then we always need funding. So it's very competitive. Not just Nigerians, Asians, and all over the world.
Exactly.
So coming to UK to do your research can be very competitive. So if you're looking forward to doing your research, you can, while looking at UK, also look at explore other countries, Australia,
I applied to Australia too.
That's the same for another thing. Oh my god, this video is so rich. We haven't even gone exhausted what we wanted to say. Let me know if you guys really want Adesola to come back and break it down, how you should structure your research proposal, and every other thing that you need. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
But before we go, let me just understand the structure, because for masters, what I did was I applied to the school and I did my scholarship application separately. But for PhD, you first identify the school, you first identify your research,
then a supervisor.
A supervisor
A
supervisor will now determine which school you apply to, because if you find a supervisor in University A, then it means you mail the supervisor. When the supervisor agrees to supervise you, you now apply to the university where the supervisor teaches. And then in the process of applying to the university, you apply for funding in that application. And then you can be offered admission to do your PhD without getting funding. So funding is like the last thing. So I hope you understand those steps. I hope you have learned something from this video. Do not forget to share I know that so many of you watching me right now may not be ready for your PhD program, but you will definitely need this video in years to come. Save it, guys, and then forward it to all those you know who have already had master's degree and want funding for their PhD programs. Okay? Thank you so much for staying tuned. Do not forget to like this channel. Tell them to like and subscribe to this channel.
Please like and subscribe to
Kuseme Ise, to this channel. Just upload to Deshala by commenting under this post and let me know if you want me to bring other people to talk about PhD funding, because I know another person who is funded for her PhD but is not funded by Queen Mary, but she is at Queen Mary. So let me know if you want me to bring her to come and talk about that also. And do want to watch other videos of mine. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Like, share, comment.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Like, share, comments. Bye.
And you wanted to add something?
Oh, no, that's all.